everybody, Brett Tremblay here, back with another episode of Candid Convos. Today we have somebody very interesting in the legal world, Melanie Leonard. Mel is an attorney, but now she does something for attorneys, technology speaking or wise. So I'm really excited to talk with her about that today. Mel, welcome to Candid Convos. Thanks for coming on and tell us more about yourself in this new endeavor.
Thanks so much. Yeah, it's been quite the ride. So I am an attorney and I had my law firm for about 12 and a half years or so, and decided at that point that I was much more interested in the technology, in the building the systems, in creating the systems and procedures that help law firms grow. And so I went ahead and decided to sell that law firm and start this business, Streamlined.Legal, where we help law firms implement practice management software and build the systems to support that software. And yeah, we've been going for about 2.5 years now. It's been a ton of fun.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this. So you have virtual staff now, and
I do.
we're working together. So tell me your experience. Did you have any preconceived notions before having virtual team members? What do you think now, and what are some tips that you have for how you've been able to integrate that into your business?
Yeah, so probably not surprisingly, all of our team is virtual. So I'm the only one in the Chicago suburbs. I have, 3 people on the East Coast, 2 people on the West Coast. So it just, we're all over the place physically. But yeah, so the having someone virtual was really not a concern for us as far as, how would we work together and all that. For me, frankly, as a small business owner, it was more, I am, as many of your clients, I'm sure, have this challenge is, just reminding myself consistently all the time to delegate, right? Because I'm very much of the personality of, I can do this, like I can get this done, right? And the truth is I probably could get it done, but that would leave me no time to do all these other things that I want to do, right? So
Right.
just like you were talking about delegating, it, it's something that depending on your personality, I know a lot of people struggle with. And I constantly, while I preach delegation all day long, like I love for everybody to delegate, it's still something I have to constantly remind myself of. It doesn't come naturally to me, is what I'm trying to say. So for me, when I started working with our first Get Staffed Up employee, first of all, it's been great. But the issue of her being remote was really not an issue for us. It's more of she's very, very good at reminding me to remind myself that I
Nice.
need to delegate more, right? So she's like, well, I did this and this is done and that's been great. She's like, so what can I do next for you? What can I take off your plate? So she'll ask me consistently, but on top of that, she'll also go and look for things, because now that she's learned more about how the business operates and we're still growing ourselves and creating our own procedures, she's very, very proactive in wanting to say, I noticed that this isn't going so well. Maybe we could create a procedure for this and do it this way. So that's what I really, really appreciate, because that's taken some of the load off of me to have to find everything that I want to change and fix it and feeling like I'm the only one, right? So to have her there constantly reminding me of that as well has been very, very helpful.
I love that. I really love hearing that, because when you find a good assistant, then they really are a life changer. And look, with our company, you can have a personal assistant to just remind you, hey, delegate, give me things, or manage your calendar like an executive assistant. Or you can add a lot of bandwidth to your team and plug them into systems. Let's say that you have a conveyor belt, and you have maybe like the I Love Lucy scene, right? Like the chocolates are coming out. Well, maybe you need a lot of people along the conveyor belt to do different parts of the packaging and the mixing, but it's expensive, and you don't want to hire 10 people and pay each one of them $50,000, etc. You can mix in people offshore from a different country, educated, smart, talented, great energy. You just got to train them. And so the one way is the personal assistant, and that's awesome. And another way is traditional roles that you may have not thought of before. And I was having this conversation with somebody. When you're paying let's say $10 an hour, $12 an hour. I mean, we all want to, I think most of us want to pay our people as much as possible because we appreciate them and we want them to have a great life. But if I'm making $12 an hour, of course I have one foot in the door, one foot out the door, because I'm looking for my next payday somewhere else so I can better my family. And that's why there's a lot of turnover at businesses and law firms, and people get frustrated. So when you work with us, for example, I mean, you're solving a lot of issues all at once. And, you know, I just think you didn't have a problem with the virtual aspect. And some people don't, especially now after coronavirus, like we said. But, you know, just realizing that there are talented people all over the world is a big help.
Absolutely. And one of the things that has really helped me is the idea that because because of the way that you've structured your business and it gives me the ability to hire someone full time sooner than I might have otherwise. And so it's really given me the flexibility to say, okay, I'm already paying this person full time. Like, this is the deal. And
Mhm.
so now it's not forced me, but it's encouraged me to say, okay, now I need to find something because I'm sure it's there. It's just more a question of me taking the time to think about it and focus on it and find it. And like I said, she's been helping me as well. But you know, I don't feel that same pressure of, well, you know what, I don't have anything for you right now, so just don't bill me right now. Like, go do something else, right? Like, no, she's there. I'm paying her, so let's go find something. And that's really for me been a great motivation.
Absolutely. And that goes two ways. You know, when you have someone 20 hours a week, you're like, oh, they're not working right now. Like, oh, I can't. Like, I have to wait till tomorrow. Somebody that's full time, but they're finally affordable. At least, you know, especially when you start adding a bunch, you know, it's such a luxury to be able to just delegate, 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 and to free your mind of all the things that, you know, that get in the way. And look, going back to something else you said, my opinion on because we're filming this in October, right? And in October it gets staffed up. We had a very women entrepreneur focused month. You know, it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And you said you're not that good at delegating. Part of it's personality. My opinion is that men are better at delegating than women for this reason. Men are lazier than women. Like by our DNA, we'll go really hard at something and then we'll drain out. Women have more stamina than men do for, you know, for just I'll just get this done. I'll get this done. Guys, like, give that to someone else. You know, I don't want to deal with it. And training yourself to, like you said, you probably could get it done, but that's just more time, and time equals money, and time on things you shouldn't be doing is unhappiness, and it's time away from your family. Training yourself over and over and over to just get rid of 80% of the things you're doing, and then every quarter just keep on raising yourself and getting rid of more things is such a smart strategy, and it's such a luxury to be able to have someone to constantly give those things to. And once you get really good at it, it's completely life changing.
Oh, I agree. And it's also kind of addictive. Like, you know, it seems like when I sit there and take some time to focus on it, and I'm like, you know, okay, well, I can have her do this and she can do this. And then I'm up to like 3 or 4 or 5 things. And I'm like, okay, let's find some more, you know, because you start to taste that freedom and you're like, wait a minute, the more that she's doing, the more that I can focus on this other thing that I really, really want to work on, you know.
Mhm.
So absolutely, it's definitely addicting, and it's definitely beneficial, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
she loves doing it. I mean, she is, we did some personality testing recently
Oh,
within
cool.
our organization, and she was a part of that. And, you know, it really did feature the idea that you know, she is very good at some of the things that I am not good at, right? So she's really helped us round out our team and focus on things that otherwise we might not have given the priority to.
I love hearing that. I just love hearing that. And people still kind of say, well, does my person only work for me? And I just want to reiterate what you said. These are full-time positions. They only work for you, the client. And what you said right before that was, you know, you're delegating things, and then you're going on to something that's, you know, probably a much bigger priority, something you want to focus on. Some people may be telling themselves, well, but I can just go do that anyway. Okay, but if things are happening, well, if you don't have an assistant, you are an assistant, right? So let's say that you prioritize your time. You say, I'm not doing anything today. I'm clearing my calendar. I'm going to go write the next chapter of my book. Well, first of all, good for you. But second of all, there's a big difference, because if you took 30 minutes to delegate 20 things and then you go take a full day away and focus on whatever you want, like writing your book, then while you're gone, your business is happening. Calls are being made. The flywheel, it keeps growing, and you're making a bigger difference so that you don't come back to the mess you left in the first place. So it's just a matter of how much do you want to get done and how much do you want to do yourself. And when the light bulb goes off for people, it's just a really fun thing to see. Because like you said, the like a staffer that we place with somebody is really just the symptom. We also need to dig into, what are you delegating to them, and the more we grow, the more we can do those things, and it's really fun.
Yeah, it's been a great addition to our team, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, Streamline Legal, how do we find you? This email is going to go out to a lot of lawyers.
Just to find our website, www.streamlined.legal. And on there, you can, find out a little more information about us. There's also a place where you can sign up and do an introduction call. That's what I would recommend, just so we can have a short little chat to find out, what are your goals? How can we help you with that? And then we can take it from there. But yeah, we love helping firms find some peace of mind by creating those procedures and systems. And so I think our companies are very much aligned. The people that are going to be, excited about delegating things to your team are also people that will probably be excited about creating systems so they can delegate more things to your team. So I think the two ideas really blend well together, and we're excited to talk to whoever wants to reach out to us.
We are absolutely aligned, and I agree with you. I hope people will reach out to Mel and her team. They are awesome. Get help with the legal software that you don't even know what it does. Even if you're, you're like, well, I don't really need new legal software. That's not the point. It could be doing so much more. You're still in first gear and you're potentially driving a Ferrari. Let's help you get to third and fourth gear. So Melanie, thank you so much for jumping on Candid Convos with us. We didn't prepare. That's why these are candid. So I hope it was pretty painless.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Thanks for the invite.